Hey guys, so as the title would suggest, I will be talking about the very amazing news that we just got that the Grisha Trilogy and Six of Crows will be turning into a Netflix live TV adaptation. So yes fam, it's happening. 2 days ago, Liba Duco announced on her Instagram that Grisha Trilogy and Six of Crows have been greenlighted to do a Netflix TV adaptation, which of course is crazy and insane. The writer for Bird Box will be a part of it, and also the executive producer for Stranger Things is also part of it. So that's pretty damn amazing. But of course, live TV adaptation, book adaptions, I was skeptical. I was very skeptical, more so with Six of Crows than Shadow of Bone. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Just what I thought, what I feel, and also why there are so many changes to book to movies or book to TV adaptions. You know, like why do TV show writers or movie writers always change the book's plot or characters? You know, so I'm going to be talking about that. So yeah, like I said, I'm mainly going to be talking about Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, or mainly just Six of Crows, because I'm only just started reading Shadow and Bone, so that, meh, I ain't going to talk about that. So what we know so far is that there's going to be 8 episodes for Shadow and Bone. A lot of people are saying, like, there's a lot of people in the comments being a bit confused, being if it was like the whole thing was 8 episodes, meaning all of the Grisha Trilogy and Six of Crows, but I don't think that's it. Like, what I think Liba Duco meant that Six of Crows is also going to be a TV show adaptation. There hasn't been much news, I don't think. There might be when I put this out, who knows. I think Shadow and Bone is going to be 8 episodes. It's going to start with that. And I think Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, they're going to be 8 episodes each. Because when you really like narrow down the plot of Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, it's actually a very small plot. So I think they're going to be 8 episodes each, but they're going to start with Shadow and Bone, and they'll probably film them at the same time to save with like props and budgeting. Now, as I said, I was very skeptical. I saw it and I was just kind of like, ooh, really? Are we doing that? Like, that's amazing for you, but because Six of Crows is such an amazing book. Everything about it, the characters, everything is so dear to me. It was like my first 5-star book in a very long time. I really hold it to high value, and I don't want to be hurt again like I've been with Shadowhunters. Like, no offense to anyone who watches the show, or of anyone who really loves it, or even to Cassandra Clare herself, or the actors, or la-di-da. I can't stand the show. I just forget about it, actually. I just don't like the show. It's just, I don't like it because they made unnecessary changes, I think. Like, why do they need to? The Shadowhunters aren't meant to have technology, but in the show, they got technology. They're very equipped with that stuff, but that was like the weird thing when you were reading it, like how advanced they were, but also they were a bit primitive in like what they used. There's a lot of reasons why I don't like the show. I mean, yes, if you like it, good for you. I just don't go near it, and it just hurts me. It hurts me because the Mortal Instruments was like my favorite books at the time of reading them. I still hold them up to high esteem. The whole Shadowhunter world and all the books are like very special to me. So yeah, it's a bit sad when movies or TV shows adaptions don't go that well. I don't care about, I think all the actors are great. It's the plot, and that's what I mean about this. I don't care who they get. It's the plot that bothers me. Plot changes bothers me. The only time when the cast annoys me is if they get if they change the character's gender, or they change the character's race when it's meant to be a big part of who they are, or identity. That's when it bothers me, but usually the plot is the main thing that will get me. That's what I'm going to talk about. Why do people change plots? Because I was thinking about it. I was really thinking about it. And I was like, you know what? Six of Crows would actually be really cool to watch. It has a very unique plot. It's very different. It hasn't been done before on TV shows or movies. I haven't seen anything that is like Six of Crows out there. Yes, there are shows with heists and criminals, but like not done in this way, not with this plot. And it's a very unique and different plot to your general YA fantasy, which usually follows the protagonist either realizes they have magical powers, or they have an inheritance of a magic world, they discover a new world, they meet potential love interests, and then they just train for a bit. Then the threat comes along and they are the ones who have to help defeat it. That is usually the general plot of a lot of YA fantasy or urban fantasy books. Divergent, The Mortal Instruments, Percy Jackson, and there are many, many others who follow that same plot. The world is always different, the characters are always different, but the plot itself is usually the same. I mean, that's why like Shadowhunters is probably changed, because that plot line, that's been done so many times. And so that's why I think Six of Crows should be fine. I don't think they should make any changes of the Six of Crows plot, because it's like, where can they change it? Like, what can they change? There is literally no wriggle room for them to change. For example, as much as I love the books, but like City of Bones, Clary for a lot of the time doesn't really know what she's doing. She's kind of like up in the air, like, ooh, I'm a shadow hunter, I'm this, I'm that. Like, she doesn't have a set goal. She's just kind of, she discovers her memories pretty fast, and then she just kind of learns about the shadow hunter world. She doesn't really do anything though, you know? Whereas with Six of Crows, they're already established characters. It's an established world. The basic plotline is Kaz makes a deal with Jan Van Eyck. They prepare for the heist. They go on the ship. They land in Fjorda, or however it's pronounced. They do the heist. They come back. And then they are ambushed. And she's taken away. That's the plot. Like, there's no room for writing any other side plots, you know, for a TV show. Like, everything else is character development and world building, because there are like mini side plots, if you will, before the heist, but they are more used for ways to get to know who the character is. They're not really side plots. It's to help you acquaint yourself with these characters. So the Six of Crows plot is really tight and packed, and there's like not a lot of room to be like, ooh, but what if a character did this instead? What if a character didn't go on the heist? Like, no, there's no reason, because everything makes sense in the books. Everything makes sense. Whereas if like City Bones and like, I don't know, Divergent, you could see, and even like reading those books, there was a lot of times where I was like, I wonder if she did this, or I wonder if it was in a different scenario, you know? Like, there's more ponderings, whereas Six of Crows doesn't have that. Like, everything makes sense. Everything is good. They have a set goal. The book itself has a set goal. You know what the book's about. Everything else is character development and world building, and that's it. Which is why I don't think there's going to be too much mixing up of the plot, because, like, why? Because if you do that, if the writers decide to change the Six of Crows plot for the TV show, it dismantles everything. Like, it just dismantles everything. I think they could add to it, maybe make the process of preparing longer. Maybe the voyage on the ship might be, you know, to the heist be a bit longer, because they're only on it for a few times and it kind of skips over a bit. I think there will be a lot of that, like adding on but not changing so much, if that makes sense. I mean, we have Game of Thrones. Like, I read those books before I watched the show, and I love the show. I think the show is great. They make good changes, because Game of Thrones is it's a high fantasy. It's not YA, it's high fantasy, so it's going to have way more world building and way more advanced stuff, basically. So the changes that they make for the Game of Thrones thing is okay, because they don't change the plot. They just take away bits and pieces that don't add anything to the story. That's why Game of Thrones is a good adaptation. And because the writers and the people who make it are fans of the books, and that's a huge difference. Same thing with Lord of the Rings movies. Peter Jackson and the writers were fans of the books. And again, they took away stuff that weren't needed, because those books are long. After the whole ring dealio, when Bilbo leaves, Frodo spends like years in Hobbiton after that. It takes him ages to actually leave. And then Tom Bombadil, he was scrapped from the script if you don't know who he is in the Lord of the Rings world, he's basically this magic man who can put on the ring. It doesn't affect him. He doesn't go invisible. Nothing happens. Takes it off, laughs about it, and then that's it. Nothing happens. He doesn't come back. Like, he's just a random dude that can do that. So of course, in the movies, they scrapped him because he doesn't make sense, and the audience would be like, who the hell is he? Why did we need him? Why did they waste such precious time and energy and money on this one weird scene, you know? So changes like that are okay. As stated before, Six of Crows is a YA fantasy. Compared to high fantasy, it's not that advanced or crazily packed with all this random information. It's perfect. It doesn't need many changes, so I think it'll be fine, because we haven't had anything like Six of Crows on TV or movies. That's why Game of Thrones works as well. There was nothing like Game of Thrones on TV before. That's why it works so well, and that's why it has such a huge audience, because it's different. So I think Six of Crows will be a pretty cool adaptation, and I'm very excited to see it. I just hope I'm right, and I just hope they don't change it. So that is my little talk. I think book to movies, especially if it's a similar plotline like a lot of YA fantasies are changed, because a lot of them are pretty similar. But Six of Crows is different, it's unique, it hasn't been done before on TV, so I think it should be safe. And with that, I am quite excited to see it. I'm still a little bit skeptical, but I think it's gonna turn out better than other adaptions in the past. Congrats to Lee Bardugo for this. This is pretty amazing. I hope it works out well, and I hope it's great. I'm excited to learn more about the show and how it will be done. But yeah, that is it for now. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I shall see you all again soon. Goodbye!